everybody. Welcome to this evening's edition of That's Novel. I have a few people here with me tonight. The headlining author, I suppose you would say, for tonight that will help facilitate with me is Jennifer L. Allen. She and a couple of her friends are author friends and co-writers are joining me, and so we're going to get started. There is a chat box if you're on your desktop, if you're on a computer watching. There is a screen to the right hand side of the box that you see me in, and it says live chat, and you can type in there and ask questions at any time. If you're on your iPad or a phone, it's somewhere on the bottom, but I've never been able to find it myself, but I have been told that there is, oh, hey, Sadie, and Donna, there is somewhere running there. You do have to be signed into Google in order to be able to chat. In the chat box, I don't think if you're not signed in there, they won't let you say anything, but feel free to chat, be chatty Cathy's in the little box, in the little chat room. That's what it's here for. And I'll be looking there and also facilitating in the thing. So I am Stephanie, and I am the owner of Stephanie's Book Reports, and this is my show called That's Novel. And Jennifer, let's see. Oh, there you are. I was like, oh, did she run away? I looked at a different screen and it put her in a different like, wait, where is she? Okay, so this is kind of cool because Jennifer and I don't live far from each other, but we can, that it's neat that we can see. I love this part of the show. I can see people from all over the world here. So Jennifer, tell me about the anthology that y'all have put together and what's going on. Is it for charity? What's the...
Okay, so it's a rock star romance anthology. There's 12 of us all together, and Lachelle and Tony, you can chime in anytime if I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. So if I say something dumb, then you guys can say, no, Jennifer, that's not right. So, but anyway, there's 12 of us all together who decided we were in a group together, and we said, this would be a really cool thing. And Lachelle's kind of the mastermind behind it. It's like her baby, but yeah, so we got started with it, and it just sort of took off. It seems like it happened. It's been in the works for a while, but it seems like it's happened so fast. Like, I don't know. It's been a whirlwind, but it's really fun. Some of the stories are brand new stories with brand new characters. Others are existing characters. So if you like rockstar romance, chances are an author that you like has a story in here and possibly a series that you like too. So, ladies, anything I should add to that? And Lachelle Collins and Tony Kenyon are here with us today too. They're two of the other authors in the set. So is there anything that I'm missing or?
No, that's pretty much it. Like you said, it was kind of my brainchild, I guess. It was something that I've been kind of bugging friends of mine about for a couple years now. And the reason was just because, you see box sets all the time. They're pretty common now, but you almost never see one for rockstar romance. You see everything else, paranormal, contemporary, romantic suspense, but there was never a big rockstar romance box set. And so I really wanted to be a part of something like that. And so it wasn't until I started pulling all you guys in, though, that we kind of came up with the idea of the festival, like a fictional rock fest that all of our characters could come play at, which I thought was a pretty cool concept. So that's pretty much how it began.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much what I love about the whole concept.
that we've got this big sandpit that we've created, and everybody's characters are in there. You know, I was approached by the group a little bit later, I think, after Lachelle had thought about what she wanted. For people who don't know me, I'm coming to you from tomorrow. I'm in New Zealand, and it's the next day from the. I say I'm coming to you from the future. And so I always feel like I'm a little bit tagged on behind everybody else, because I get up in the morning and then suddenly there's this huge feed of stuff that's happened overnight, and I feel like I'm sort of hitting the ground running, trying to catch up with everybody else. But it's just been a great experience to be part of this, like I say, this huge world that we've created, and sort of on the cusp of releasing our babies into the sort of wild. I'm feeling very protective of the whole world that we've created. So I'm hoping that everybody else loves it as much as I do.
I'm feeling terrified. I am. I'm feeling terrified pretty much.
Oh, there's just 5 people watching at the moment. It's all good. It's all good.
Oh no, I don't mean like by that. I mean terrified about the release.
Oh.
The book release. It's like we've been working on it for so long, you know, and now release day is finally approaching, and it's just, I don't know.
Yes, I know how you feel. I have published. I have not written anything other than a dedication and acknowledgments in 4 anthologies, but I've published them. And you know, like watching the signing that I host and help put together, and I did one with the some of my authors that I represent from my literary agency. We released one last month, and it is nerve-wracking. You're like, oh my gosh, is anybody going to really buy this thing? Do they want it? But I think the rock star theme, and to hear that you've got like a Woodstock thing kind of going on there. That would be that's a good call for. I love rock star romances, so I have to go hunting for this. And see, because I don't think I have read who is everybody in the anthology.
Well, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, go ahead. You might have a better chance of pronouncing some of everybody's names than we do. I thought about it. I have never talked live to these people before. Like, it's just like surreal. But go ahead, Lachelle.
Well, besides the 3 of us, there's we've got Jenna Galicki and Jade C. Jameson and Lisa Gillis, Maria Bernard. Gosh, I know I'm missing. Help me out. Bella Genesi.
Okay. I have a list.
Yeah.
It's one thing I did prepare. Teresa Hissong, and her name I was just afraid I was going to brutalize. Sadie Gruber, Casey Hamford, Lindy Hudis, and the 3 of us.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yay!
And those authors, I don't know if you know much about them, but this set is going to kind of run the gamut as far as heat level goes. Some are kind of, you know, midline. Like I consider my stuff to be kind of like on a scale of 1 to 5. My stuff is kind of a 3, but there are writers who are like scorching. So it's gonna be a variety. Something for everybody.
You have some Sadie in there, as she's going to probably start yelling at me on the chat box. Yes, you have some Sadie Gruber. Hers are spicy. So you have, well, from what I remember of the last book of hers that I read, I think it was pretty spicy. So.
Oh yeah.
Some Sadie, and does Jenna have some of her menage in there, or is she or is it just, I don't know, I guess I'll have to read it and see. So you can
I think her story, I think they're in there, aren't they?
Yeah, I think it's at the very least it's a male on male, but I don't know if it's a menage or not.
Well, I know all of her characters are there.
Yeah, it's part of her.
I mean, I don't know about the actual romance of it, but the characters all take part, so which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh, Sadie says Jenna's is hot. It brings in the menage and the new player. Oh, so we have some poly going on right here. That's always. There's my fan. We need a fan going on here. Yes, so that's really cool. I love that. Rockstar Romance has always been my favorite part of my favorites to read. I don't know, maybe it's just the bringing the, I don't know, like celebrity and rock stars, those kind of things, and you kind of bring them into your living room or bedroom or wherever you read. Like you're reading them, they're like right there with you instead of like this. I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I mean? Like they're not this famous entity. I don't know really how to explain what I'm saying.
Like they're real or something?
You feel like they're right here with you, other than instead of like this big thing on a stage,
I think what it does sometimes is it humanizes the fantasy that everybody has about there's that time when a musician sings a song or a band works really well together, that you feel connected on an emotional level. And I think what the Rockstar Romance books do is they bring that intimacy that you feel, like you say, into your lounge or into your bedroom. And you get a sense of that feeling that the song evokes running through the whole of the story. I mean, that's why I love writing them. It's just taking that huge, that crush that you have, that, you just want to know everything about that person, and then kind of humanizing them, but still leaving the essence of that mystery and beauty and difficulty there as well. And I think that's why I'm drawn to writing those kind of stories.
Yes, exactly. I was shaking my head. I'm like, that is it exactly. And Sadie says, well said, Tony. Yes.
Thank you, Sadie.
Yes, that's definitely it in a nutshell. I was like, oh, she said that way better than that. Yes. Thank you for putting eloquently what I was trying to do. All right. So tell me about your stories. Did y'all, three of you, did you create new characters, or are they part of something you already have going on? What's your story?
Well, I guess I'll start. Mine are brand new characters, so they're new. I'm releasing them into the wild for the first time. And it's a little steamier. My story's a little steamier than what I normally write, so it's a little bit different, but it definitely fits the rock star genre quite well, I think. So mine are two, they're like the opening act. A couple of the opening acts. They're brand new bands. They won a Battle of the Bands contest to go to the festival. It's a girl rock band and a guy rock band. And the female drummer from the girl band and the singer from the guy band get together in my story. So it's going to be the prequel to a 1 or 2 book. I haven't quite figured out how I have the story in my head, but I don't know if it's going to plan out into 2 books or 1 book, but there's more to come afterwards.
Oh, good. Maria Bernard is on. She says, "Hey, Rockstar Romancers." She's saying hello. Oh, she says, "I'm enjoying the views and the sangria. How are y'all doing?"
Yeah, we're
She's
jealous.
on holiday.
She's on vacation right now.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes. That was me last week, sort of working working vacation at RT. All right, who's next for story description?
My story is all of my characters from my Jagged Ivory series. I don't want to. Should I tell you about the story? Is that what you want?
Well, you could tell about the series. It's new to me, so
okay. Well, my Jagged Ivory series. It's the name of the band, Jagged Ivory, and it's a 5-book series. And it's consistently still to this day, even though it was one of like the first thing I published. It's it's my most popular series, which kind of blows my mind, but there it is. And so I decided that for this set, I would revisit them since they've always been pretty good to me and catch up with them, see what how their futures are shaping up. So my story, the most popular, or the ones readers tell me that are their favorites. So my story is about Benji, who is the band's bass player, and Benji is an addict, a recovering addict, and he's I don't know, he's everybody's favorite. So my story centers around him.
And her Jagged Ivory series is awesome, Stephanie. So you should definitely check it out.
Thank you. I will do that. Yes, I'm just thinking there's lots more stuff here I have to read to get it on my list. Jennifer and I have similar reading
Taste.
likes.
Yeah.
So of course, if she says I'm going to like it, I'm pretty sure that'll be definitely something I have to pick up. Maria says she loves Benji, the broken boy. Benji. Loves Benji. Those are always the characters that are like my favorite. Those that have had that heart wrenching. You want to just could be your bad boy, the one that's never thought that he's loved, but that finally finds that as the gripping. Those always tend to be my favorites. Tony, I want to say thank you for getting up so early in the morning to join. You said New Zealand, I was like, oh, bless her heart.
It's not too bad, actually. It's midday here at the moment. It depends on whether we're on Pacific time or Eastern time, whether it's early in the morning or sort of midday-ish to afternoonish. So it's not too bad. I'm getting the hang of it. That's the main thing. But
what time is it for you?
It is midday midday.
Okay.
At the moment. So, but it is it's also my eldest son's birthday, so I have the family coming for lunch. So I've left my dearly beloved musician husband in the kitchen getting lunch sorted for everybody. I'm like, I'm sorry, no, I've got to go and talk to all these girls. You'll just have to deal with it. I'll be out when I'm done. So he's pretty good. So I come from a musical background. My father was a bass player, and strangely, I married a bass player. So it wasn't such a shock to be writing about rock stars, really. And the only thing that I struggle with is that the reality of having a recording studio at home and living with musicians isn't really what I write about. It's fascinating from the point of view of I get the insight into how musicians' minds work, but sometimes it's not quite like the fantasy that everybody wants to read. So I have a lot of fun ramping it up to the fantasy that, and listen here, pal, you should be behaving like this because I've just written it down, that sort of thing. So my story is got a little touch of an old series in it, which has been my private love series, which has been very good to me. Julian and Mags have been incredibly good to me. And Julian's baby brother Sam is suddenly discovered that he can sing, which we probably all knew, but he's got a few other problems in his life that have kept him away from making a decent go of it. And my band's a British band because I tend to write I was born in the UK and I live in New Zealand, so I'm a little bit removed from the American rock scene, which is terrible when I see everybody off and running to all these wonderful, you know, places that they go to see gigs, and I have to wait like twice a year for someone decent to come here because we're miles away from everything. Yes. So I write about British. Yeah, so I write about British rock stars, and I thought, well, what best than to try and break a British band into America in the middle of a festival like this. So that's what I've done, because I write a little bit differently than Americans. I say strange things like taps instead of faucets, and footpaths instead of sidewalks, and you know, I have holidays, not vacations. So I thought it would be really great to bring that slight shift into the whole thing. So that's what I've done. So we've got a British kind of rock star who's trying to break into the US market, which is really hard for Brits to do. Traditionally, even if you look at stories of Brits trying to break into the US, it's an interesting concept. And I like the idea that I can have these really famous men who nobody knows them, so it knocks their ego quite a lot. And I like writing about that kind of, you know, musician sort of story. So that's what I've done. But of course, I've chosen Paul Gray, who's the bass player of the new band Style Strike, who are Sam's backing band. And sort of it's a lead into the story of Paul's relationship with a woman who hates rock stars, because don't we love those stories where, you know, the heroine's somebody who doesn't even know who he is, or just can't stand rock music, and, you know, why don't you play the cello like a nice boy, or that kind of thing. So I've had a lot of fun with that. And so that will lead into another 4-book series for these boys, and I pretty much loosely based this band on Duran Duran. I kind of came through the glam 80s, and I loved you know, those boys, and I thought they'd be really fun to write about. So that's my story. I've got a whole bunch of guys. I mean, even when we were setting it up, Lashel and I were arguing about whether Vegas was too hot in June or July. I'm going, oh my God, I've got these British boys, they'll be dying of heat exhaustion, they can't be there. And she's going, it'll be fine. I'm like, oh my God. Stop hanging up about the weather, you know.
It's definitely a different heat than they would typically be used to.
It is.
The things writers think about, right?
For anybody. Sadie, well, first Maria says hi to the three of you, and then
Hi,
Sadie,
Maria.
I will have to agree. I said this before we were on air, but Sadie says that she could listen to you talk any way you want all day long, Tony. It's that accent. I have a friend of mine. She's in the same boat as you. She's a blogger friend of mine. She's from the UK. She's English. She's from England, and she lives. Her and her husband live in New Zealand. They're on the south.
Oh, I have to. The South Island, the bottom island. Yeah.
Yeah, they're down there. They were on the north, and
Yeah.
they couldn't stand it, and so they moved
Too
south.
hot.
So they had lived in the south part of New Zealand before, and then moved to Australia. She's been all over the place. And then they went back to England, and then they moved back to New Zealand. I'm like, stay somewhere.
Yeah. Doesn't really matter now with the internet, though, eh?
Right? Exactly. It's easy. We can find you anywhere with this technology. Maria says that she'd like to hear you read out loud, Tony.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got an extract that's a few pages. If you could stand for me to read 4 little pages, would that be good?
Sure.
Okay. So we're in Ashley's head. So Ashley, a bit of background. Ashley's sort of a attendant who's just checking passes for people as they go through, and the band have parked out the back of the stadium, and they're just going in to probably sort of check the place out. And this is pretty much the first time that she sees Paul. I chugged up my water bottle. I'd given up taking ladylike sips. I think I was losing water at a rapid pace, even standing in the shade of the security tent. See, there's the heat, you see. Julian McAvoy, rock god from the UK. His brother Sam's on stage 1 tomorrow night. He's trying to break into the market with a new band, Maddie muttered. It's him. She squealed, continuing to hold my arm in a death grip. It struck me that she needed to hold on tight to me so she could stay grounded. So the best friend's mad on rockers, and this is why Ashley's ended up here, because she's just sort of stuck with us. So anyway, I couldn't get excited about any of this at all. How do you know it's him? I asked. Behind him, Maddie pointed, stabbing her finger in the air. I can see Paul Gray. He's the new bass player. He's videoing the tour. I'm following him on social media. Oh my God, if I could get on his channel. I couldn't think of anything worse as I extracted my tortured forearm from Maddie's grip. I could easily have broken one of my prized fingernails peeling her fingers from my arm. I checked the list we'd been given and sure enough found Sam McAvoy's name together with Julian and Paul Gray among others who were to be admitted with the group. How the hell Maddie kept all this information in her head when I'd never heard of half of these people, I'd never know. Maybe I just wasn't interested. Mr. McAvoy, Maddie gushed as the group came to a halt in front of us. Call me Julian, he said with the most charming accent I thought I'd ever heard. It matched the smile that had erupted on his face. I wasn't expecting to be recognised. I'd been a fan for years, Maddie said. I couldn't believe a word of it. I'm sure she didn't even know he existed until we got this job. I checked the security tags around everyone's neck, and Maddie continued to make a fool of herself, gushing over each and every one of the band members who filed past. Last to come through was a sultry-looking man with a shock of long dark hair that hung over his eyes. He'd been filming the entire proceedings and turned his phone camera on me. What's your name, darling? Turn that off, I snapped. I didn't want my image plastered all over the internet. I had an idea of the kind of person who lived their life online for the world to see, and I didn't want to have anything to do with him or his silly channel. You don't want to be a star, he asked in an accent that did things to my insides I didn't want to acknowledge. I looked up from my clipboard into a piercing blue eye. The other remained covered by the shock of black hair that looked like a raven's wing had fallen across the man's face. I blinked a couple of times and tried to clear my head. Something about the sound of this man's voice, the cocksure way he had of standing right in my personal space. It should have pissed me off, but instead I could feel myself leaning in toward his body. No, I said, answering his question and making a determined effort to take a step back. He stepped forward and leaned in close enough that I could see the outline of the colour of his tattoos on his chest through the dip in the V-neck of his shirt, close enough that I could smell the heat of his body, close enough that something inside of me reacted to the sight and smell of him. But everyone wants to be a star in America, don't they? Not this girl, I said, trying to look away, but there was something about the way he held his body, the way he was looking at me as if I was the only girl in the world. He had a magnetic hold on me that I'd never experienced before, and it rattled me. I didn't like it. It frightened me. I wanted him to go on through and leave me alone, but he stood there, unmoving, looking at me, scrutinizing my face. I could feel the heat of a blush crawling up my body. Is there something wrong? I asked, straightening my spine and looking him square in that one big blue eye. He shook his head, and I caught a glimpse of the other blue eye before it hid again behind his hair. I like to capture beauty on my camera, that's all. What's your name, beautiful? It was a line. He was a rock star. He fed lines like this to women all over the world.
Keep reading!
Buy the book.
Buy the book. Buy the book. Buy the book. Yes, we agree. Maria says, "Oh my." Yes. We agree. There we go. We got to go chasing after the rest of that so we can see. She flips him on his lid.
That was awesome.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
Yes. So is that part in the anthology, or is that part of your new 4 for your 4-book series?
No, that's in the anthology.
Yay!
Yeah.
Get that. And the name of the anthology again is called.
It's called Get Rocked in Vegas.
Woo.
The idea, and I should not even be saying this, but the idea
Go on.
the idea was that, we might someday want to get together and do this again. And so then it could be Get Rocked in London or Get Rocked in New York, That was the idea. And it may happen. It may not. But
Yes. It's Woodstock all over the place,
There you go.
Why not? Why not? That's really cool. And yes, I mean, I'm in South Carolina, like Jennifer, I'm about 2 hours north of her, and they have a country music thing here. I'm not a country music fan, but here at the beach they have a country music festival like that in the summertime. So I can tell this rock band thing is easy for me to picture, and I'm sure for everybody else too. If you're big on music, it's really easy to envision. So I'm sure if you take it on the road, we'll we will all be groupies, reader groupies, following around the globe.
Now, here's another fun thing about this set is that some of us got together, and it wasn't easy, but we kind of coordinated, and some of our characters appear in other stories, and so that was fun, getting to share characters and everything like that.
It's one of the things I really enjoyed. Yeah. I have a female lead guitar player, and she fangirled over the guys in Jagged Ivory, and I just thought it was just so fun when Lashel sent me her version of the scene, and then I've written my version of it, and it feeds so beautifully into other stuff I've written about Dusty Tate, because she left America under a cloud and now she finds herself back there, and it just adds to the depth of the characters, which was just cool.
And it added to the whole, music festival thing, all these different fictional bands coming together in this one spot, and they're interacting with each other. That was part of the fun of it.
And the artwork's amazing too. There's been some beautiful artwork.
Amazing.
Yeah, I keep thinking I want to make tour T-shirts out of the artwork because it looks so cool and so real.
And I've actually got a printout of the poster that I'll see if I can get it. Tell me if it shows up on the screen.
Awesome. Yeah.
I can't. My screen's kind of frozen. So.
There you go.
Okay, so it's the logos for all the bands that are in it, and it's
that's awesome.
And it's
we worked.
Maria actually did it.
Yeah,
designed the whole thing and stuff. Brought our logos in for it and everything. So it looks like an actual concert, like a festival poster. So
they worked so hard on that to get it to look like actual band logos, and then Maria Bernard put it all together, and it just came out amazing, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, Maria says backstage passes. How many bands? She asked how many bands are on it.
There's 23 bands.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, that's definitely Woodstock, right? Not New York, it's in Vegas. I did pre-order. I just went to Amazon and I pre-ordered the book. Let me go back here to see.
Yay!
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Okay, so this is it's 99 cents pre-order, and it goes on sale in 6 days. Woohoo!
6 days.
6 days. We're not nervous, are we, girls? We've still got fingernails. Yes.
Kinda.
Yes, and then lots of heat here too. I missed even mentioning that Jade, when you had said Jade C. Jameson was in there, and she's another one with some heat. Y'all be like,
Oh yeah.
cranking it up here with me.
Jade, let's see, Jade and Jenna and Bella, Sadie. Those four I know for sure bring the heat.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's definitely steamy. It's not as steamy as theirs, but it's a lot
Mine is
steamier
steamy.
than-
Maria Bernard's is steamy.
Is it?
I thought so. Just a little bit I read, I thought so. She thought it was kind of tame. I was.
Aw. I can't wait to read everybody's. I read Casey Hanford's. I read hers. Hers is pretty steamy. She's in the UK, right? Casey's in the UK?
She is. Her and I hang out when you guys are all sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah, so I read hers to kind of help her Americanize certain parts of it because there was an American character and she didn't want to write him British. So I beta read hers to help her out with that. And so hers is pretty steamy too. So yeah. Hers is male.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then she said
Oh, I was just saying, hers is male.
a male romance.
Everybody's gonna eat
Yeah,
that.
sorry.
That's the new hot ticket item these days. The male romance. Sorry, I'm moving around in my chair. I sit in a recliner, and I really should change my spot because I keep sliding down in the chair. It's like it's a little bit less comfortable here. So Maria says yes, hers is steamy but tame compared to Bella's.
Everybody's tame compared to Bella.
As she said, she read Casey's too. She agrees it's very steamy. And then let's see. Oh yes, she says y'all have 12 authors with 12 standalone rock star stories. Oh, and you have a whole schedule set up. So you have a concert schedule play, not really a playlist, but playtime. I don't know. How would you say that?
Oh, well, to keep track of everyone's stories so that everybody got it right, when their bands were going on stage and all of that, we created like a schedule, an actual schedule with the 2 stages and who was on at what time, just so that everybody could keep their story straight, from story to story. I don't think we included the actual schedule in the book file, but there is a list, kind of like a who's who, because there's a lot of characters in this box set. So there is a list of each band and who's the author and what series they're from. Just, like in case my readers, aren't familiar with Jennifer or something like that. So all of that's in there.
Oh, great. Yes, she's set list. Thank you, Maria. That was the word. I told you, y'all were like giving me words tonight because my brain is not it's not hitting on it. Too much other.
That set list was really helpful for things like if you wanted to say a lot of action obviously takes place backstage at rock festivals, so it was nice to know who was on before you and who was on after you, so you could keep that straight in the story. And it's also another way of feeding information about other people's characters into the book, and it's just part of the whole, the fun overriding or overarching theme of the whole thing, that we were really all in this together. So we had to get it straight. But it was
also helpful to keep track of, like, for instance, for my story, there's a huge party and I had to keep it straight. Okay, which character, who's on stage now? Okay, so they can't be at the party, but this band can be at the party. So it helped keep that straight too.
Yes, which is which? Maria said that y'all somebody y'all even drew a map of the fictional event to give everybody a visual reference so you could see.
So that we were all kind of describing it the same way. Kind of.
Yes. Well, that's helpful because you don't, I mean, I beta read a lot of stories, and I mean, I'm sure if you've ever done that for the author friends, or even before you started writing, you can catch stuff like that, and if you're not careful, and especially with one like this magnitude, you can really, people will start screaming at you for it's bad reviews for not even the locations, not even the same. It didn't even sound the same. Didn't even look the same. I don't know what this
Fictional logistics.
Yes, exactly. What were they thinking?
A lot of fictional logistics went into this.
Yeah. There was a lot of talk behind the scenes about, is this going to work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt. So now y'all can plan. If Tony's husband ever goes on tour, you can plan. Y'all are experts in the field of concert planning and set lists and who's where. It's that who, what, when, where, why, and how. That I was trying to think, what's the name of that? I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head. I need to quit. It's it's a little town with a little apple and worm, and anyway.
Schoolhouse Rock?
No,
No?
it starts with a B, I think. Some kind of town. And it's a little worm, and he drives a little apple car, and there's some rabbits. And that's
I
like
can
part of
picture
the
it.
theme
But I don't know
song.
what it is.
Yeah.
Who, what, when, where, why, and how.
Yeah, I remember it. I just can't, I don't know. I can't think of the, I know what you're talking about though, yeah.
You can tell I have little kids, but I can't. Anyway, I have done a great job of figuring out all of that, the who, what, when, where, why, and how. And oh yes, so Maria says there was lots and lots of research in this busy town. Thank you, Sadie. Yes. See, there you go. That could have been the location of the concert. It's in Busy Town because we're Maria's like, where's this going? This is my squirrel. Yes. Oh, good. Let's see. Yes, Sadie said her daughter loved that show. My kids, we have the DVD of that of several of those. Those shows. I couldn't think of the name of that song. Anyway, that thing to save my life. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. Yes, get rocked, Busy Town.
Get rocked, Busy Town. That's our next location.
Yes, you have a bookworm and an apple, and then rabbit. Squirrel. Yes, lowly worm drove the apple. Yes, lowly worm. Anyway, it's she gets me. We're on the same. Oh goodness. Excuse me. Oh, so you have the book as it's 99-cent pre-order. Will it stay 99 cents after release, or are you going to move the price?
It will not. It will go up in price probably after first week of release, I think. I could be wrong about that. It will go up. I'm just not certain about the when.
The timeline for that. Is it going to be available in print, or is it ebook only?
I don't think we're going to do a print run. I don't think so.
All right.
I can't speak for the others, but after our set is unpublished, which it will eventually be, I will be publishing mine on my own, and then it might have a print with it. I don't know, but
Yes, you have to wait till after everyone gets their rights back.
Right.
Yes, Maria did say one of y'all's biggest concerns was how the rock stars would cope with the desert heat. I'm telling you, Vegas. I've only been once, but I've been to Arizona during August when it's 124 degrees there during the day and like the 90s at night, and it's hot. I mean, it's a different heat compared to what Jennifer and I are used to over here on the East Coast, because our humidity is ridiculous, stifling compared to what it is in the desert. So yeah, I would assume even, you know, being on stage, the lights, the desert heat, there's no shade. Yeah, that would be hard on musicians. I'm thinking that, so like, what is the word I'm looking for? Taxing.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking for, is taxing. It would be I mean, for anybody, but much less somebody that's standing up on stage for however long you gave them, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours if you're for your headliner or whoever. It's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of water. Lots of water. And if you throw alcohol in the mix, well, that's even more water.
That's true.
Oh yes, especially Maria says, especially with hers, since they're in full 80s glam. Of course, if you have any women, they could just dress like Madonna and have her cups. There you go. You're good to go. There, you don't have to even. Oh, she even included first aid facilities. See, in the venue map. There you go.
Yeah.
Even the
She's
fans
thought of everything.
Like that. Mm-hmm. And Sadie says she's going to be publishing independently and putting it in paperback so you can get her story. So are the 5 of you, since we have running commentary over here in the chat room too, are you continuing the story that's in the anthology, or are you individually, are you done? Well, obviously Tony's, yours is part of a new series.
That's right.
Mine's part of an existing series, as I said. Also, in my story, I kind of, another band of mine, I just released a book back in January of a brand new rock series. And that band makes an appearance in my story. So their series continues. The second book in that series is in edits right now. So I don't know if that kind of answers your question.
Yes, you have somewhat of a continuation.
Yes.
And your first series comes out of retirement.
It comes out of retirement, yeah. Good way to put it. Or you could say I'm putting my first series to bed, the first rock series, and then continuing on with the second. There you go. That's a good way to put it.
There you go. Jennifer?
Yeah, so mine's a prequel for the 1 or 2 books that are going to be coming out hopefully next year. But yeah, so it will go on. This is just the beginning. It ends in like a happy for now. So it's complete, you know, but there more to come,
No cliffhangers. I love cliffhangers. I don't know what's wrong with people that don't like them. Because
Actually, my story kind of sets up for a spinoff.
See, more work to be done.
No rest for the wicked.
Maria's story continues where stick shift lips. Oh my gosh. Stick
shift lips.
Let's say that 5 times fast. Where it left off, but it can be enjoyed as a standalone. And Sadie hasn't typed yet, so I don't know about hers. But
I'm pretty sure hers is is part of her Falling Stars series.
I think hers is.
Yeah. different characters maybe, but I think it's part of that for sure.
Existing, maybe even carrying on. Yes, it is a tongue twister, Maria. A tongue twister. Yes, as I was looking at that, I was like, oh wait, let me see if I can get all these S's in. Stick shift lips series. I really will be tripping over myself. Okay, here's Sadie. Let's see. Her story is 2 characters, side characters from Hits and cameo characters from Snare, Gemma and Zarek, Gemma Harper and Zarek Cisco. And there's an appearance from Forgotten, Chris, Mia, Jack, and Liza, and Jimmy and Kat during this novella. It plays off the Falling Stars series. There we go. Now we're in the know. We have 6 minutes left of this hour. See, I told y'all it's going to go by really, really quickly. Well, since it's not available in paperback, people can't chase you down to get one signed from everyone. But where can they find you? Or are y'all doing appearances anywhere for your own personal work this year? Any more signings that you're doing? Or Tony, are you coming to the United States or doing anything in New Zealand?
I so wish I was coming to the United States. Every time I see these girls on a signing, I'm like, I must get more organized. So I'm going to have to stay in contact with these girls and try and organize to get over for a signing. But I am always available, lurking around Facebook and sort of anywhere online. You'll find me at tonykenyon.com, and then you can just basically stalk me via there. I love interacting with people. I promise, I've been promising everybody that I'll do more live stuff this year because apparently you guys like listening to me. So I'm somewhat entertaining over on the large continent on the other side of the world. So I will try and do more sort of video links and things like that. But signings are really hard for me because we have this horrible organization called New Zealand Post who charge me an arm and a leg to send a book anywhere in the world. So I can't do a lot of signing and sending out, but I try and do electronic signings if I can, or get involved with people. So, you know, I'm pretty amiable to being wherever people want me, as long as you don't expect me to get up at like 3 a.m. I'm pretty good.
New Zealand time. Yes.
So, yeah. I'm like, oh God. So yeah.
Right.
So find me online. I'll be about.
Is autograph still a thing? I know when I first started blogging 4 years ago, that autograph was a big thing where
I don't hear many people talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're still.
I'm on there, so I do get the occasional request from people, and sometimes they start reading the series and they like me to say something about every book. So it's lovely when that happens, but I don't think it's being promoted as much. I think people like actually having a physical book in their hand, and I can understand that because I love that too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, my friend that lives in New Zealand complains about the New Zealand Post as well. Mm-hmm. Very reliable. Let me get this over here. Maria says she thinks that Bella's story involves a few of her bands from a few series, but mainly the Wicked End series.
Mm-hmm.
Very recently re-released as a fully self-published author. Woohoo!
Beautiful new covers.
Oh, so you won't even
Beautiful new
recognize
covers on that series.
And Sadie is going to be at Kiss and Tell in July in Allentown, Pennsylvania. She'll have some posters and cards for the box set, and then she'll be at Naughty in Nashville in September. Woohoo.
I don't have any signings planned for this year. I don't know how that got away from me.
It's still early. It's only May.
Yeah, but those book early, like last year. Like right now, they're booking for 2018.
Yes, but you know, I speak from experience in being an event planner that there are always authors that pull out at the last minute. So if there's
That's
any
true.
that are close to you, you can always email or message the event planner and say, "Hey, I'm really close. If somebody that pulls out, you need to fill a table." Me. You know, of course, that would mean that you'd have to have swag and books available to
Right.
bring, but I always appreciate it when I have somebody that messages me and says, I'm close. I know it's close to the event, but I'm close. And if you have, we have people that pull out 2 days before the event. Like, oh,
That's a good idea.
really? So yes, it's helpful to be able to, I mean, I hate to say fill a seat, but it's helpful to fill a seat. You know, when you've had somebody that you're expecting to come and they pull out 2 days before, it's like, yeah. So, I mean, Jennifer knows she's
Mhm.
I don't know why. I mean, you know, stuff happens, and that's, you know, it's all well and good. But yes, if you have any that are near you, that's
I
a
will
way
keep
to be
that
able
in
to
mind.
talk in there. Jennifer,
Yeah. I have For Love of Books in Florida in July, and that's in Sarasota. And then I have Rebels and Readers in West Virginia in November, and Authors Invade Columbia in November. Are you going to that?
yes. Well, yes, I'm supposed to be assisting Misha Elliott at that signing. So it's you know, but I'll be there as long as it's happening. We'll see. I mean, you know, either way, if she doesn't, she was messaging me the other day, she might have to cancel signings, but so we'll see. She, you know, either way, it's only 2 hours, right? So
No excuses.
yeah, that's not far.
No.
And speaking of, did you know, I just saw Turning the Page, Grace Summers, they have a Charleston signing coming next July.
Really?
She just, I saw in my feed, she has the interest form up. So there you go.
Well,
In your backyard.
Yeah, who's hosting it?
Grace Summers from Turning the Page. If you're not friends with her, I'll hunt it down and get it.
Okay. I'll look too.
I don't know if she posted it in the group. There is a group, a Facebook group called Events, Author Events around the U.S., but it's really around the world because they have London, they have the Australian, the UK ones all included in
Them all over.
yeah, all the file. So if anybody, author or reader, is looking for a signing, there's a ginormous Google document with all that information on it for however many years. So you can find anything anywhere. So that's plus. Excuse me. Tony gave her. We have Jennifer's email. Her social media listed. It's after 9 o'clock now. Excuse me. We have Jennifer's social media listed here on the episode information, and Tony gave her. I think you gave your website address, but y'all want to give where they can find you on social media real quick, so they.
My website is LachelleCollins.com, and I'm all over Facebook and Instagram, Twitter. I'm easily accessible. I'm easily stalkable on social media.
Positive stalking, please. And I'm assuming that y'all have those your social media icons on your websites. So if they just find
Yes.
you, search for your website.
Yep.
Find you there.
You can find all that on my website.
Yes. Sorry, I'm playing with my hair. It decides that it only wants to grow as much, and it won't go back in the ponytail. So I've been harassing my hair all night. It drives me crazy. I can't stand it. Oh goodness. All right. Well, y'all can pre-order now on Amazon. Is it available everywhere?
It is.
Yes.
iBooks, Snook, Kobo.
It's Get Rocked in Vegas, and it's a huge rock star romance collection. So y'all run out and pre-order that sucker, and it releases in 6 days, so you don't have to wait long for it to hit your reading devices. So yay! I don't want to, when the 16th comes around, I open my Kindle and be like, oh hey. I love when that happens. It's like, oh, I thought I ordered this. Fuck, I got more stuff. It's like a present. So it's all over. Sadie says, everyone go get GRIV and get a Humpily Ever After for 9 months. Get rocked in Vegas and get a Humpily Ever After for Hump Day. Yes, and so then you'll get hooked with this rockstar adventure, and you'll have to wait the next town. We're going to be pushing for that next location. Since y'all did so much work for this one, it just makes sense to keep going. Let's just move to another. London, Sydney. I mean, you can even go visit
LA.
Tony. Yes, visit Tony in her neck of the woods. What's coming?
Yeah, Auckland.
Yes.
Auckland. Get rocked, Auckland.
Why not?
There you go. Exactly. Well, thanks, ladies, for joining me tonight, and thank you, Maria, for taking time out of your vacation and your sangria. Joining, and look forward to reading this collection when it comes out next week. So let's see, the 16th is
It's
what day?
Tuesday.
Tuesday the 16th. I barely even know what day of the week it is today. Much All right, so next Tuesday it'll be hopping on your Kindle. So pre-order it for 99 cents before the price goes up, and you can positive stalk these ladies on their social media. And thank you, Jennifer, for scheduling this date, and I'm glad y'all could join me. This was great. Yay.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks,
You're welcome.
Stephanie.
You're welcome. Thanks, Tony, for coming across the world.
The globe, yeah.
Across
From the
globe.
future.
From the future.
Yes, from the future even. That's even better. Yes, I was going to say across the pond, but it's a little bit more than a hop, skip, and a jump.
It is.
Across the pond. All right, well, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop the broadcast here, but you're welcome, Maria and Sadie. Thanks for joining on the chat. And we will add, excuse me, we'll try to add, I'll get everybody's, Jennifer, if you could send me everybody's, just the websites, we'll add it to the episode information here. And this, of course, because it's live internet, it'll be available forever and ever, and I'm in. So y'all can share. You can share this video however many times you want to on your social media platforms, about for as long as you have this book, I suppose. And we'll add everybody's websites, social media, so that y'all can be found in the episode information here.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for coming, and we'll look forward to seeing your success. And we'll chat again soon, someday. Bye-bye.
Right.
Thanks for having us. See you.
Thanks.
Thank you.